the middle of their final exams. Our topic this evening is something that affects all of us, sometime or the other in our lives. Yes, our topic is something which, as I mentioned, affects everyone. It's something which we need to be coached on, we need to be made aware of, and something which we, should think about it, especially if we are a young adult, a teenager who just finished school, or someone who is lost. Well, when you're looking at success, yes, success is often defined as the ability to reach your goals in life. Well, whatever those goals may be, in some ways, a better word for success might be attainment, accomplishment, or progress. Well, it's not necessarily the destination, but a journey that helps grow grow your skills, develop your skills and resources you need to thrive. But always remember, everyone's definition of success is different. Success is not only associated with wealth or tertiary education, or, being where you really made it in a position or a status, whether it's corporate, whether it's in any situation, civil society. Well, the essence of success lies in a combination of resilience, self-belief, and innovation. Successful individuals stand out by embracing all the risk, holding, unto unwavering confidence in their abilities, and, continuously thinking outside the conventional norms. However, after, school life ends, as many say, you are sent out into the world to make a choice for yourself. Yes, it's quite serious when you really think about it. Well, that is why it becomes essential to build a career from the point so that you can have a brighter future. Well, in order to build your career, you need to set goals. The goals do not have to be long time. Well, life after school is a time of uncertainties, fear, and hope. That is the reality. It's a journey that gives room for personal growth instead of, just putting unnecessary demands on yourself. Well, our guest this evening was a regular guest at Al Ansar. Someone who's also been, when Al Ansar started at the very beginning, he was very, very involved. Well, he was also one of my guests when I first started Al Ansar, and gosh, time and years just flies by. Alhamdulillah, he has grown and assisted, touched many lives with hope and insight, and he was always jet-setting, so it was difficult to get hold of him. Alhamdulillah, you are here in studio. It's an absolutely great privilege and, I'll say honor, and I feel like, whoa, you're finally back. Yes. We have Brother Ashraf Moorad. Welcome back to School Matters.
Thank you so much, Sumaya. It's a privilege to be here with you, and I'm making a comeback. This is a comeback. I had to make a comeback.
Yeah. You relocated to Cape Town.
Yes.
And every time I always contacted you, you're always giving a talk, flying somewhere, presenting something, or like really involved.
Yes.
Really involved.
Yes.
You remember when you should have our career seminars, matric seminars?
Yes.
You should come and present
That's
to the
right.
hundreds of learners.
I love the people of Durban. I mean, I spent a fair amount of time here. I was involved in education when Al-Falah was known as Lokat Islamia.
I have to say this, it only has to be a teacher. It only has to be a teacher.
Well, I was a school counselor and life skills facilitator, but an educator. So it's been 25 years that we've been in this, together in doing our missions. And I'm back because it's 25 years of experience. And now I want to spend the next 25 years sharing what I've learned.
Okay. Well, we have a very interesting topic. Success in the world. Life after school.
Yes. So I'm going to expand that success in the world and in the hereafter too.
Okay.
Right? Because this is a Muslim radio station. I'm a Muslim. You're a Muslim. We get the privilege of being able to speak from our rich background, the Quran, the Prophet, Islam, so success. What is it? You've given us a dictionary definition, obviously not written by a Muslim. And for me, being in the world, counseling, therapy, to see the carnage that is going on in the world, the suffering of even educated people who did well in school, people who have got A's and have got, tertiary level education, but down the line, broken. So I'm back on school matters to tell you school matters, but a real education matters more. A real education. So we have equipped our students to do well in terms of competencies, how to get into university and how to function in the world. But I also know that you have been supporting your listeners with marriage classes. So I commend you for that you haven't limited success to how well did you do in matric and which university you're in and what's your profession. So you have a more expanded. So a lot of parents are just like, they must do well. But 25 years down the line, you see the broken hearts. You see the heartache.
This is a reality.
That's right. So our definition, if parents only knew what's going to happen to their children 5, 10, 15, 20 years into the future, we would have to then look at what is success really. And that's why the topic for today is life after school, and how much of that is really coming from how many A's you got. So I am here to give us a secret and a good news, and it comes from a very rich and beautiful Islamic heritage as to the secret that you can have in this world. Financial success, that means you have enough and more than enough, and you're abundant, and you can also have marital satisfaction. The two most important things. Sometimes the men or the boys and the men, they're more interested in the bucks and the money, and the women are interested in marriage. So we got both of them covered this
Wouldn't
evening.
You say times have changed? It's like the opposite what you just said.
Well, that's why I'm back, because people are focused on...
And you know what? I have to say this.
Yes.
But your topics and whatever you do is ageless.
Yes.
It's current.
Yeah, it comes from my experience. I've been working in the field. Like you said, you tried to contact me. I've been busy with Johannesburg, Pretoria at one stage, George. Until the COVID came, I was flying every weekend, and so I've seen, my heart is broken when I see Muslims call me and they tell me their sad stories. So now I've decided to actually support people with how can a Muslim become financially abundant and also maritally fulfilled. And this time I was here to see my new niece. I have 3 nieces, now the 4th one. My brother Mo and his wife Bashira have given birth to Noura.
Well, everyone, I know the spotlight's on you, but everyone probably will want to know who's your brother Mo.
Mo Magic. Some of you might know Mo Magic, the engineer that became an entertainer. He was a student of mine in my class. I influenced him. Can you imagine how my sister's a medical doctor specialist, right? Zinat Moorad. And so when my brother said, I want to leave engineering, and what do you want to become? And he said, an entertainer. My mom and my sister looked at me, But today he's he's happily married. He's got a child who he adores. He's got a career that's outside, the engineering. So we want our children to become doctors and lawyers and engineers.
Before it was teacher, doctor, lawyer.
Yeah, that was back in the day. HOD, etc. So now, I've been able to support myself, break through some of the stereotypes in our community that we think is success, and to allow ourselves to come forward and to really live success, which is personal fulfillment.
Yeah. Do you know, you have written a book?
Yes.
Tell us about your book.
Yes. So I was just saying, before I tell you about, I want to complete my thoughts. So I'm here to see Noura. And while I was here, we decided to do a program for our sisters, unmarried sisters, whether they're single, whether they never married. Because today a lot of women are going from unmarried to never married. We're witnessing this. And then other women who are divorced or widowed, how they can actually attract into their life a suitable spouse to have a mutually satisfying spousal relationship. And we just put this out free of charge. I'm a community activist like you. We give our time, we give our resources, we give our expertise to the people. And we had 2 events. The second one was organized, on short notice, both of them. And we were full out. We had reached capacity. So you can see that in our community, a lot of people are realizing that we are somehow not seeming to get to where we want to go. And so we have to break through where we are. So the book is called, it's subtitled, Live Your Best Life, by being your best self. And anybody here at the end of the show, if you're interested, you can get information where to email, and within 15 minutes or within 5 minutes, you'll have your own copy of this book. So it's written for the public. I launched it in Europe, by the way. I was invited to do a presentation in a university there. So I wrote the book. I launched it there in Porto, Portugal, about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. And so the book it's really about how to live your best life by being your best self. And so I want people to understand.
And you know what? I'm going to cut you there. Do you know what? This is absolutely free. You know, when you said you're giving, when you told me off air, when you're giving a book, a PDF, you took me back memory lane, because back in the day, as a community activist and even being involved in media, whatever, we always wanted to uplift the community.
That's right.
And I'm saying this, it doesn't work like that anymore. There's always a catch to it.
Yeah.
There's always a catch, you know. But so you're definitely going to give that. And if you are listening right now, you better take note of that.
Yeah. So, you know, Sumaya, we come from before today's pop culture and all that, right? So, you know, when I was talking about self-empowerment, nobody spoke about it. I brought this lexicon in. I was the first person, as far as I know, in Durban who was actually talking about self-empowerment. We've done hundreds of programs with you, with Nouri, with other people. I've done hundreds in Cape Town as well. They've been enjoying me
and
there.
You've also been at the masjid. You've been lecturing.
I'm the only non-clergy to speak on a Friday Jummah and sometimes a big night on the topic of Iman. So about 140 Friday lectures in the country I've done. Shukr to Allah. So what I'm saying is, today everybody is a life coach, everybody is a motivational speaker, but they themselves, as they used to say back in the day, are nadan. Nadan. I don't know if people know what that means. Naive. They think they know, but they don't know. So
I think, you know, that's something you should touch in the future. It's always about status, your name, and a million things what you do.
Yes.
But we never ever had that back in the day.
That's right. So we've always been about people and helping people and the quality of life.
When you look deeper into it, do we need validation from the people?
Not at all. So I wrote my book for the people, giving it free. It's how to live your best life by being your best self. And now you can see it's yourself and how you are that leads to the kind of life you have. So success, it's about being fulfilled, whether in your job or your money or your relationship or your marriage. And so one of the important things that is my focus with this marriage project. So people ask me, why are you doing this marriage project? And I said, like, firstly, my sisters have been calling me in pain and agony. So all the support that is for women today is remedial. After you get married, then go for counseling, and then the man doesn't want to go, and that story.
You know, we're also chatting off air. You mentioned, and this is so important, where you have young girls straight out of school, got married.
Yes.
Before they are, I think, even 20 or 19, divorced.
Yes.
Or they studied, got married at 22 or 23, and under 25, married with, divorced, with a child.
Yes.
And no one thinks this can happen to them.
This is, it's getting bigger and bigger, the situation. So you're talking about unbearable marriages, right? But those are just the ones that are unbearable. But most marriages, they are very bearable. They're just about bearable, right? So we're talking about spousal satisfaction. We're talking about our sisters and educating them how to become the best spouse you can be, to attract the best spouse you can have, how to actually become a person who is a satisfying spouse, to have a spouse that is satisfying. So I started this project. It's because a healthy individual, if you are the best self and you're living your best life, you'll attract somebody who's their best self, living their best life. Together, you become a couple that's happy, healthy, and it's a happy, healthy marriage that produces a happy, healthy family, which produces a healthy, happy society. So you were telling, and, you know, we were talking about, I said, what's the solution? So this is my solution. After 25 years of being in the field, out of the spotlight, you know me, no name, no fame, I fly, I just do the work. I'm only interested in people having a better quality of life. And that's what we're here for this world, to support and the hereafter, to leave the world a better place. So it's only through supporting self. I said this 25 years ago when Ansar started, and I say it again. It's only through empowering yourself. And that's empowerment is a spiritual empowerment first. So I want to talk about the secret. When you're ready, we can talk about what is the secret that we as Muslims can actually apply that can change everything for us with money, relationships in this world, and also in the next world. You can have it all.
Okay. Well, we'll be taking an ad break.
Okay.
The chaos and destruction in the Gaza Strip is beyond comprehension. Virtually everyone is displaced, hungry, and in urgent need of life-saving humanitarian support. The Al-Imdad Foundation has been working tirelessly to address the health, nutrition, and water needs of the population. Our hospital, water deliveries, and hot meal programs are made possible with your support. Your donation, big or small, is a lifeline for those in dire need. Help Gaza survive. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
This dua for the divorced and widowed is brought to you by Continental Butcher Baker Deli. Quality, freshness, and value. Our promise to you since 1992.
اللهم أجرني في مصيبتي واخلف لي خيرا منها.
If you're looking for a delicious selection of freshly made baked goods, decadent deli treats, and succulent meats, there's no need to chop around anymore. Continental Butcher Baker Deli offers an award-winning service, presenting exceptional quality at competitive prices. Superb choice-grade lamb, beef, and chicken, mouth-watering homemade processed meats and gourmet marinades, and scrumptious baked goodies. Quality, freshness, and a money-back guarantee. Visit Continental in Argyle Road.
Continental Sausage Circus, now featuring 80 different types of sausages. Hurry before there's not a sausage.
Hungry for flavour? Head over to Nando's Pavilion, Westville Mall or Oceans Mall, where our flame-grilled peri-peri chicken is always fresh and flavourful. Experience our hospitality by dining in at Nando's Pavilion, Westville Mall or Oceans Mall, which are all NIHT certified, and stand a chance to win a holiday getaway for four valued at 10,000 Rand at the Umhlanga Sands. Nando's! Fire it up!
They convinced the world to believe that terrorists look like beards and thobes. Now, as the facade cracks, one martyr after another, the world sees through the broken windows and now knows the true face of terrorism. It wears suits and ties and smiles behind lies.
اللهم احفظ المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الحاقدين. اللهم أعد المسجد الأقصى إلى رحاب المسلمين. اللهم وطهر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا قوي يا متين. اللهم منزل الكتاب مجري السحاب هازم الأحزاب سريع الحساب اهزم اليهود وزلزلهم يا قوي يا
Wonder Dates, your one-stop shop for all your dates, nuts, dried fruit, spices, biltong, biscuits, sweets, chocolates, Islamic lifestyle goodies, and so much more. Wonder Dates is known to import unique and unusual products from around the world. So, if you're looking for something nutty, nibbly, chewy, munchy, sweet, sour, or savory, make a date with Wonder Dates. Visit us at 9 Peter Road, Springfield, Durban, or call on us on 031 577 7722 or shop online at www.wonderdates.online. Wonder Dates, bringing the freshness of the farm into your home.
Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
I am Imtiaz Saib, the Executive Head of Orient Islamic School. I want to take this opportunity of wishing all matriculants everything of the best in the forthcoming examination. I'm confident that each one of you are deep sea divers and not shallow water swimmers. To sow success to one and all.
To all the matriculants on listening to us on Radio Al-Assad, greetings. This is your greatest moment in your life. Make this time count. You've studied hard during the course of the year, and your matriculation examination is the highest point of your schooling career.
Just be calm, be cool, be collective. We, the religious community, are bearing you up in prayer. Go and do your best. We wish you well during your matriculation examination 2024. This is your community friend, Reverend Cyril Pillay, the chairman of the Chatsworth Spiritual Crime Prevention Board. God bless you.
Dear grade 12 learners, as you write your final exams, I want to wish you the very best. This is your opportunity to show all the hard work, dedication, and commitment you've invested over the years. Give it your all, and remember that success comes to those who give their best effort. Stay focused, keep a positive mindset, and trust in God's guidance as you tackle each paper. You got this. God bless you. With warmest regards, Catherine Kavutunjekwa, Education Director of the Southern Africa Union Conference.
Radio Al-Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to School Matters. Yes, it's such energy-filled show because we have
the solution. The solution.
Yes, we have Brother Ashraf Moorad in studio after so long. You know, success in the world, life after school. What's so different about you? You're not motivating. You're not being a life coach. You're finding solutions.
That's right. So we have to look at the situation. As I said, to his 25 years plus, I'm doing this work close to 30 years. And I can tell you from looking back that if we keep going this way, it gets more and more painful for people, more and more stressful, as I was saying, for individuals, for couples, for families, for marriages, families, communities. So I have a solution that I have actually developed from my experience. And the beautiful part of it is that it is an actually empowering, practical, pragmatic solution that people can begin to understand and apply and experience a transformation. So this is not just about information. This is about supporting a transformation in the person. So up until this point, people who are living lives unimaginable to their parents have had nowhere to go to get guidance, to stabilize them, to move forward. So would you say, Sumaya, that a lot of women your age or younger than you are living lives unimaginable to their mothers? Would your mother have ever thought sitting in a studio, interviewing, doing things?
Never.
Right.
Never.
So we have a society where the younger people, our generation and younger, are living lives unimaginable to our parents. Can you go to your parents for guidance? What guidance can they give you? The people who guided our parents, with all due respect to them, can we go to them for guidance? So we have had a situation where there's a massive guidance gap as how to live life. And the fallacy that if you do well in school and you go to university and you get a good job, or you start a business and your life is made, how many years we're going to keep thumb sucking that to realize our homes are breaking, our families are breaking, our hearts are breaking, we're stressed. So are we going to, what people have said, Einstein has said, do the same thing over and over again, expecting to have different results is insanity. So this is why I came out of hiding. I've been enjoying working with smaller groups of people that are real ahead of their time to bring this information back to the society, that there is a solution. And if you keep doing this, where are we going? Who's educating our youth? We're schooling our youth and we're schooling our young people, but are we educating them?
That's so important. When you think about it, our youth today, are they lost? Do they have the same, empathy doesn't exist anymore.
So the problem is the lack of appropriate guidance for younger people. The guidance of our older generations it's failing, and it's supposed to, because that was a different time. So the real problem that nobody seems to be aware of, because people have, it's outside their awareness, is that we don't have an appropriate and relevant guidance to empower human beings to live a life of personal fulfillment and satisfaction. So because a person doesn't feel fulfilled within, it's external. If I have money, if I have somebody beautiful, if I am beautiful, if I can achieve this, if I can. So all this competition that we see, that emptiness within, and that excessive focus in the world, but that emptiness continues.
Yeah, it does.
So yes.
Since you're mentioning that, you'll always, well, these are views and opinions of us listeners. What I'm saying is sometimes you'll notice somebody who has everything, the qualifications, the home, the family, but they are always still competing with someone else.
Yes.
And they are never finding, as you say, sukoon.
Yes.
It's not there.
So let's talk about the solution, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that there is a big gaping gap in society is, especially in the Muslim world, is that there is no focus on, in the remembrance of Allah, hearts will experience assurance. So the first thing is, a lot of people may think, but we are believers, right? Because we said the kalima, we go for Hajj, we go for Umrah, we keep our fast, we eat halal, but not so much tayyib, you know what I mean? All that. But the Quran says, do not say you're a believer. It's talking to the people who said the kalima. Do not say you're a believer, for faith has not entered into your hearts. Rather say you are one who is submissive in religion, rather than say you're a believer. You see? So what we have here is firstly a spiritual problem. People might say, I go to the mosque, I read the Quran and all that. But the Quran says, woe to those who stand in prayer, but whose hearts lack the smallest of kindnesses. The Quran also says there are many who say they believe in Allah in the last day, but they do not believe. They lie to the Allah and the believers, thinking they lie to Allah, but they only lie to themselves. In their heart is a disease, and that disease is expanded. They are astray, and they are left astray. They perceive it not. So what you're describing, when you look around you, is a diseased heart. The Quran says, only those who bring to Allah a purified heart is going to avail them. It's not your wealth, it's not your family, it's your children. You get what I mean? So we can see in our society, again, Indian people in this country have had many challenges, and we've seen movements over time that have brought us Muslims to where we are. But even we were talking the state of Muslims, in Muslim organizations and so on. And again, it's because the education is more religious rather than spiritual. You get what I mean? It's more about do this, read this, appear this way, say like this, have the beard on your face. But there's no education on really Allah consciousness. So the first part of the solution is to actually recognize the value and benefit that Allah is to us, that we can't be to ourselves, and we can't be to each other, and we can't be to others, and nobody can be to us. So let me say that again. A lot of times women are looking for a husband to take care of them, right? Now Allah is taking care of them, and Allah is taking care of the future husbands and everybody, because Allah created us. We are His creation in His care. But people aren't aware of the fact that we can't take care of ourselves and we can't take care of anybody, but we are all in the care of Allah. So the Quran speaks a lot about Allah consciousness, Allah awareness. So anybody who's really aware of Allah, that's why I speak in the mosque, right? You can hear the Imam in me coming forward here, right? But anybody who's really aware of Allah, in the remembrance of Allah, hearts experience assurance. You see, when you see me or a person like you, there's one thing that keeps us grounded, and we won't get taken by the fads and all that, because in our heart there's a connection, and that connection is strong. We're stable. We can be there, we can deal with situations, but we're stable. So the main problem that society is facing, which is strangely, at a time when more mosques than ever in Durban, with more people wearing beards than ever in Durban, you know what I mean, is that the people are in the remembrance of Allah, hearts experience assurance, no sukoon, right? So this is something that's not addressed. There's teaching people, about the dogmatic side of things. This is what you must read. But there's no being secure. So you asked me about my book. My book is about 5 beingnesses. That anybody who develops these 5 beingnesses, they will live a different life. And the first beingness is being secure. And being secure is the English word for mu'min. A mu'min is a believer. It's the name of Allah, right? And so when they asked the Prophet ﷺ, who is a mu'min? He said one whom everybody is safe from. So the first big problem we have in our society is that although Allah is sufficient for us, people are not aware of Allah enough to experience Allah is sufficient. So they don't really feel the peace that's got nothing to do with them. There has to be humility before you can live happily. Now, when you don't know Allah and you don't humble yourself in front of Allah, you think you're the best thing since sliced bread, you know what I mean? And all that sort of thing.
But what you're saying is part of our deen, a part of our religion.
This is shocking. Sumaya, it is shocking that we've got so many religious people and nobody is addressing the thing about if you fail to remember Allah, yours will be a depressed life. Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in their hearts. So the hearts of people are diseased. And the answer is not more rituals and more religiosity. The answer is more humility. The answer is becoming aware of Allah, the compassionate, who did nothing bad to us and will never do anything bad to us. Allah is the fair, but Allah is the favoring. He is the just. He is the forgiving. Allah is the fulfilling. Allah is closer to us than our own jugular veins. But everybody is looking into the material world, you see. So this is the thing, the first and most important thing. If somebody really wants success in this world and the hereafter, it is to become aware of the value, the unique value, the unique benefit that Allah is to us. Like He spends that, you are married, you got a husband, you got a child. While you'll all sleep, Allah spins the earth on the axis, providing oxygen for all of us. Do you understand? You can't say, I'm looking to my husband to be my God, or your husband looking to you. As a family, we got to humble ourselves and become aware. It is because of Allah we are. Because of Allah, we are the highest of creation, the most noble of. Allah has favored, the Quran says Allah has favored humanity above other human beings. Allah has created us in the best of molds. Women are so deeply into self-judgment. They don't understand Allah has created us in the best molds. Compare yourself to an insect, an animal. You know what I mean? They say, but I'm too fat, I'm too thin. There's judgment. So the first part of this is to actually understand that the purpose of this world is who will bring to Allah a purified heart. You can get all your A's, you're here in this world, but your purpose is not to do well at school. Not to say you mustn't do it at school. You must do your best at everything. But your purpose is to bring to Allah a purified heart. You can get married. That is not your purpose. You can get children, but that is not your purpose. Your purpose here is to remember Allah. Because in the failure to remember Allah, yours will be a depressed life. You can have everything, but you won't be spiritually expressed. You see? So the first part of it, and I would like to take this on with you and your listeners to actually give them practicals and education, how to actually achieve this peace in the heart. If a listener is saying, well, I want this, tell me how to do it. First, you must understand what is the real problem. You don't feel good within you. You're trying to feel good with name, fame. I'm somebody, I'm married to somebody, I have something.
Someone.
This thing, I know this thing is the new one. All that is a mark of a spiritually underdeveloped human being. And this is everywhere, right? And I'm not saying this judgment. I had to come out of hiding 25 years now, and I'm coming back to do a comeback, because when I first brought out self-empowerment, nobody was talking about. Now I'm going to be the pioneer in this again.
You're a trendsetter.
That's right. So I'm here. This is what they're going to talk about 5-10 years from now. Everyone will say, I'm a spiritual scientist. I'm a psycho-spiritual empowerment specialist. That's what they're going to say, right? Because that's what I am. So the first thing is you got to know the value and benefit that Allah is to you, your parents, your children, your husband, that you can't be to anybody, nobody can be, but only Allah can be to us. The second thing is to understand that Allah has given us the capacity to act in a truly self-beneficial way. Not only is Allah benefiting us, He created us human beings in the best of molds, favored among the creation on earth, the highest life form on earth, gave us the ability to reason, gave us the Quran with the guidance of eat halal and tayyib, but people are just forgetting about the tayyib. And when they get sick, they say it's from Allah. But, so anyway, this is now coming to the second part, that Allah has given us guidance of how to function in the world that will benefit us. Hygiene, cleanliness, you can play a role in your life. Allah has given us the ability to brush our teeth, to wash our face, to use water in the toilet. Allah has given us not only the capacity to act self-beneficially, but given us the guidance on to do it, like halal and tayyib, right? But again, people are not really aware of what the Quran is saying. They have this idea, just read the Quran in a language you don't understand, cover it cover to cover. But the Quran itself says, this is a book for those who reflect. This is a book for those who reason. The Quran says reason. The lowliest of people are those who don't reason. Allah has given us reason. He gave us the Quran. So the Quran is guiding us to benefit ourselves as individuals, as couples. The Quran says, we created you from one soul into pairs, that you may partner, and people among you that you may take from among yourself partners. Put love and compassion in your heart, that you may dwell in tranquility. You don't have to say, Allah, please give me a good marriage. He says, this is what I want for you. He put love and compassion. So when you begin to understand that, when you humble yourself and you know what Allah is doing for you and has done for you and can do for you, He can forgive you, He can forward you, He can fulfill you. Ask Allah, He'll respond. But only those who have faith. Allah doesn't answer those whose hearts are diseased. You get what I mean? So when we recognize the value and benefit Allah is to us that nobody can be, not even us, and we recognize He gave us the capacity to benefit ourselves that nobody else can benefit us. Like I can read, right? I'm developing. The Prophet ﷺ said, educate your 2 daughters, you get heaven. There was no madrasa at the time to send them. He was talking about really uplift women to a standing where you don't leave them ignorant, that they can't function in the world. Educate them with life, that they may live. Islam gives rights to a woman, the Prophet ﷺ. So the second part of it is to learn to live self-beneficially, not self-interest. Self-beneficial is to be of value and benefit to you, your body, your life, your future life, your afterlife. So people are not knowing the benefit that Allah is, and they're not knowing the benefit that they can be to themselves and actually playing that beneficial role. They are self-abandoning. I call this being self-full. Then comes, so you have you, your body and your life, your future life, your afterlife. You can every day play a role to improve it. People are not doing that. More interested in all stories, right? And then we can then be with other people and be beneficial to other people. Like that's what you and I are doing here. I could be with Noora now and playing with her, but I'm here. So so we're receiving we're praising Him for what He has given to us. And we praise Him that He gave us the ability to reason, and that we can play a positive role in our lives, and that we can play a positive role in others' lives. You see? So we can't take care of ourselves, nor can we take care of anybody else, nor can anybody take care of us. But we can be caring to ourselves, and we can be caring to others. This is an act of caring for the public, right? So I'm aware of Allah taking care of me and you. I can't do that. You may or may, listeners out there may or may not be aware that Allah is taking care of them. It's a long story. And I am choosing to be caring to myself. I'm not taking care of myself, but I'm being caring to myself. And I can be caring to others. I'm not taking care of others, because Allah is doing that. So I can be caring to me, my body, my life, my future life, my afterlife, and I can be caring to other people. And I can let people who are caring care for me. You see, so this is so important. And especially for women who get married and get divorced, they might not realize that the marriage, or let's say it this way, your spousal relationship is your last relationship before your children. They make their husbands too important, or men might make money too important, thinking that if I have money or a husband, I'm set. You get what I mean? But you have Allah, and your faith in Allah is what, because you have Allah to protect, you have Allah to progress, you have Allah to prosper, you have Allah to give you more. If you're thankful, He gives you more. I can attest to that, right? And if you're connected with Allah and you have that relationship with Allah, and you have a relationship with you, your mind, your heart, your soul, you have a relationship with your body, you have a relationship with other people, you are participating in your life that no amount of money can do that for you. No amount of husband or wife can do that for you. So your relationship with Allah and your relationship with yourself, You don't put money or another person before that. And when you got that relationship with yourself, that's when you will let people care for you. A lot of women who end up in marital difficulties, they don't firstly care for themselves, and they don't care for themselves enough to let somebody else care for them. So the problem we have here is that we don't know the value and benefit that Allah is. So we're ignorant of it, thinking we get good grades, we do well, life is sorted. But humility before Allah, and to know that we have Him, and to establish and build that relationship, and then build a relationship with ourselves, our bodies, our lives, our future lives after, as the Quran guides us. And then to build relations with other people from a state of security and a state of self-respect, to be with people who have security. The Quran says believers must marry believers. To be with the people who have, now very few and far between today, but Allah will put them there, So if you are connected with Allah and connected with yourself, your body, your life, your future life, your afterlife, and then you choose to have associations with people that are connected with Allah and who you can give caring to and you can receive caring from. This can be used in business, it can be used in marriage, and anybody who is knowing the value and benefit Allah is to them, being of value and benefit to themselves, and being of value and benefit to others, and allowing others to be of benefit and value to ourselves. So this is what changes everything. People can get degrees, they can get the best jobs, they can earn the most amount of money, but they might not have a connection with their Creator. They might not have a connection with themselves. They might not have a connection with their lives. They might be self-abandoning. They might not have a connection giving caring to others, and they might not be receiving caring from others. So this sounds like an old school guidance lesson, but it's more than that.
We don't have guidance anymore. We don't have right living anymore.
That's right.
So we need this.
There's lots of wrong living going on and models of wrong. So we don't have role models. Sumaya, this is why I said to you, let's do this. Let's do this.
For our youth out there, especially, those who are just venturing into the world, completing, finishing
Lambs
school.
to the slaughter. Lambs to the slaughter.
I love the way you say it. You're just so real. What advice you have for them, and more than them, their parents? Because their expectations, they worry about that.
Yes. If you really care about yourself and your children, you have to understand that the Quran is the solution, and it's guiding us to all that I told, everything that I told you, the respect of Allah and His giving to us, the humility before Allah, the respect for yourself, your body, your life, your future life, the respect for other people and for the people who respect you, the contribution giving to people and receiving from people. So education is missing. We've got a lot of schooling going on, but very little education.
Well, I don't know whether you're available next week. I think listeners want to listen to you. If you're available, we're continuing this show next week.
I'm flying out, but we can do a pre-recording.
Or, you know what, with technology, I can actually link up with you.
Okay.
Inshallah. You know what, Jazakallah so much for being here. I know you came to be with family, but you know what, you're making a difference. And I know our listeners' messages are coming through. We want to hear more.
Yes, there's plenty more. And remember, if you want the book, it's free. All you have to do is email free PDF book at ashrafmoorad.com. So that's FREE, that word we all know, we can recognize it very well. We like that word, free. PDF is a digital format, PDF, book, BOOK, at my name, Ashraf Moorad, one word, lowercase, ASHRAF, MOORAD.com. Send me an email. Within minutes, the autoresponder will give you the link. You can download the book.
Well, you know what? That was so inspiring, and you want to be the change. It makes you think about your life. I'd like to thank our technician, Mondli, for making the show possible. My email address is smayakhan.alansar@outlook.com. I'd like to thank everyone who was listening in, and especially our guest in studio. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed. Success is the result of perfection, hard work, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Well, to succeed in life, you need two things: ignorance and confidence. Assalamu alaikum.